A24 Infinity War is coming, dude. Big Hollywood superhero movies are coming to destroy the world of independent cinema, and the A24 boys don't have much time left. Wait, how did we get here? Let's rewind. The independent world of cinema was created by Stanley Kubrick all the way back in the 50s/60s/70s/80s/90s. He's the proto A24 boy. His powers went beyond the space-time continuum as he could bend any genre to his will. His movies made you feel awesome, and the movies were super long and awesome. It seemed as if the world of independent cinema would never be challenged, until George Lucas struck. Kubrick released his final film, Eyes Wide Shut, in 1999, but it was no match for the big blockbuster The Phantom Menace, which totally destroyed Stanley Kubrick, who died in his sleep presumably from watching that one weird scene with that one alien the night before. Not only did Kubrick perish, but the world of independent cinema as well. And thus for more than a decade, big blockbusters dominated the world of movies, hitting harder each year with franchises like Mission Impossible, Shrek, Finding Nemo, Shrek 2, Pirates of the Caribbean, Transformers, Harry Potter, and their deadliest evolution yet, Marvel movies. These quote-unquote films were merely repetitions of the same generic formula. They took theater space, money, and talent away from independent films like the ones Kubrick used to make. It seemed as if independent filmmaking was forever defeated. Sure, there were other quasi-A24 boys who were creating independent cinema, but they kept to their own devices. None of these independent superheroes had anyone to band them together. That is, not until August of 2012 and the creation of the first independent film studio, A24. The A24 Mansion was a private academy based in NYC/LA where young gifted independent filmmakers superheroes could go train their abilities in the fight against blockbuster villains of the 2010s. Their first recruit was Roman Coppola, who had the power of moving crap with his mind. Slowly but surely they added to their roster with heroes like Denis Villeneuve, Denis Villeneuve, who was an alien from another planet, Noah Baumbach, who had super emotional intelligence and could make anyone cry whenever he wanted, and Robert Eggers, who could travel to any time period and could also control sea animals due to his masterpiece The Lighthouse. Independent cinema thus became more prolific, but it still lacked a clear leader. That is, until Ari Aster arrived. A lot of people don't realize this, but the A in A24 stands for Ari Aster. He's a badass anti-hero with his own agenda who stalks bad guys in the middle of the night and can count on the undead for help. Within no time, the streets of NYC/LA were flashing AA signs in the air. No, this wasn't a call for sobriety, but for the dark vengeance of independent cinema, Ari Aster. Indie superheroes flocked to Aster's side, and thus the A24 boys were born. Battles would include the Safdie twins running around at hyper-supersonic speeds to give Martin Scorsese's thugs from The Irishman anxiety-induced comas. Alex Garland blasted Michael Bay's Transformers with his super-armed cannons, since he's half cyborg and loves to do sci-fi crap. The Daniels used their multiverse powers to open portals and fight Christopher Nolan backwards throughout time. Greta Gerwig helped too. Think Wonder Woman. Ari Aster and the A24 boys took the fight to big blockbuster franchises and won. Now citizens of NYC/LA were free to wear online ceramics without being persecuted for being too avant-garde. Tons of independent superheroes joined the cause, and it seemed as if Kubrick's Garden of Independent Cinema Eden was finally restored. That is, until the trailer for Avatar 2 came out. Dude, please watch part 2 if you like that. You might like part 2. It's going to sum it up in an even more complete fashion. It'll be awesome.